Today we're going through HeyEddie AI. The AI market is rapidly developing. There's newer AI models being launched every day, but the one point that it's being stuck for my feeling is with video editing. So today we're going through HeyEddie AI and explore tools that can help you with your video editing process. So let's jump right in. Pro AI assistant video editor that boosts efficiency from raw footage to rough cut. All right, so what is HeyEddie AI? In one sentence, it's an AI video assistant video editor that helps creators and editors turn raw footage into usable rough cuts so they can publish more with less manual editing overhead. So it's going to save you a lot of time. So how does it work? Here we've got the main website, says, hey, edit, create a rough cut, and HeyEddie is analyzing and says it's ready. It's here. So it's here for DaVinci, it's here for Premiere Pro, and a Final Cut as well. The middle one shot on red. It's not an editor as far as I know. Sony, Canon, Arri, Blackmagic Raw, that is all being supported. It promises A and B raw logging. Rough cuts turn raw interview footage into a structured professional rough cut. So interviews should be way easier to edit. Multicam podcasts, so it can handle podcasts, intelligently syncs and cuts between multiple cameras, and it does scripted edits. Provide your script or outline, and HeyEddie builds dramatically improve rough cuts. So later in this video, we're gonna try this with some footage. Right, let's scroll there through their website further. Give HeyEddie AI a tedious tasks that you don't wanna do, so you are free to craft epic stories that captivate. So it's your AI video assistant. There's different pricing plans. What does it really cost? It has a free plan, test for free, and buy credits as needed. There's no subscription required, so that's not a model. That is very interesting. Mac, Windows app, and integration. And it's got unlimited MP4 export with light HeyEddie branding. So I'm really curious about this plan. And $333 per month if you are on a yearly subscription. Okay. Let's try this with a project. Try for free. We're going to install this. We're going to download it. I'm editing on a Mac M4 chip. So we are going to download this for the Mac. All right, and at first you download something and it's 184 megabytes. All right, we downloaded HeyEddie AI's program. It's easy to download, 200 megabytes. You log in through your Google account or make an account yourself. It's asking about what kind of editing software you are using, and you can make a project. This is a screen that it opens. We've got different options. So what I found is that actually HeyEddie AI isn't a drop clips to auto movie tool unless you give it some narrative anchor, though this is a bit of a process you got to go through. You can provide A-roll and include all the B-roll footage, but if you don't have A-roll footage and you still want HeyEddie AI to edit your video, there are certain different ways that you can approach this. One workflow is add a fake A-roll, a quick fix, so that can include a voiceover, talking head intro, scratch and narration, or even a 30-second explanation of what the video should be. Then HeyEddie AI has got timing, structure, and a story. Now it can actually edit. So, and option 2 is use the chat and edit mode properly, or you can use the logging only feature, best for me. So you shoot tons of B-roll, you edit in Resolve, and you like cinematic control, then let HeyEddie organize the footage and build the final cut yourself. So this saves hours of skimming footage. So honestly, let's go with add a fake A-roll and create a 30-second explanation of what the video should be. Okay, for this project, we're going to create a new project. We're gonna use the chat and edit mode, but there's different options that you can go through. Corporate, documentary, events, like you name it, and these are all the modes. For this one, we're going to the open mode, chat and edit. We're going to insert our A-roll interview. So for this, I created a narrative. I did a voiceover that we are going to implement. movies. This is the voiceover. So we put in one voiceover, minimum is 5 minutes, so keep that in mind. And we're going to add all the b-rolls. Open, add b-roll. These are all the b-roll. So that should give a good amount of information, and you see it analyzing everything. The import has started. I'll send you a notification so we can dive into the edit. HeyEddie AI imported all the footage. It's analyzing your files. It gives a project summary. The footage captures an Ao photo shoot in Da Nang, Vietnam, showcasing how this elegant traditional garment creates a striking contrast against the city modern backdrop. Okay, and that's true. In my voiceover, I did like a whole ChatGPT created voiceover about the significance of the Ao and what it means for the city, what it means for the culture, some elements. So the topics, a simple photo shoot in Vietnam, Da Nang as a city of contrasts. It gives this list of topics and the voiceover. The transcript features a photography session in Da Nang. And that's true. I shot my friend and I shot behind the scenes of him. So let's go through the options. Rough cut stories, short edit socials, or chat to my... So let's just see what it comes up with. We want to have like rough cut stories, 3 to 40 minutes edits. We'll choose that. And it's going to analyze. Here's the proposed framework for a 3-minute story. Okay, that's great. The complete voiceover is 5 minutes. So let's see how it comes up with a 3-minute stories. And bear in mind, this is just all random, fun, behind-the-scene footage. All right, let's discuss the cut style. Example 1, rapid dynamic cuts or contemplative flowing pace. It came in at 2.5 minutes instead of the target of 3-minute duration. Okay, and that's fine. It's pretty amazing, and it probably did some cuts in the narration as well. We can play it here. Roll locks are ready to export. Okay, that's great. Today we're shooting something that feels really Vietnam. Okay, it's one of those outfits. It's not finished yet. So this is the rough cut. When people say the Ao Dai is traditional, it's also it changes. So it makes a story and it makes a rough cut. And I wanted to end with a bigger meaning. Even if Da Nang becomes bigger, more modern, more international, Ao Dai still says this is Vietnam. And that's a great start. We want to apply B-roll. Let's see what it says. Great. Add B-roll. Once exported, you can integrate your B-roll footage directly in your editing application. You can also use HeyEddie's B-roll organization tool to help manage and organize your B-roll clips. And it says, here's the recommended workflow. It doesn't support direct B-roll placement within the editing interface. Finalize your story first, export to your editor, add the B-roll in your preferred editing software, and use HeyEddie's B-roll tool. You can also use the B-roll tool to organize, to help manage and categorize your B-roll before adding it to your timeline. This approach gives you full control over the B-roll placement and timing in your professional editing software. Please proceed with the export. Okay, let's see. The export button in your HeyEddie project, select Resolve XML format. So here we are going to export. Before I proceed with the export, I need your explicit approval, and that's probably because it requires credit usage and you start with around 3 credits. So that will probably cost 1 credit. Okay, now we can add B-roll. Make any final edits you want. Okay, add B-roll button. So let's try this add B-roll button and see what it comes up with. Categorize the best clips and craft an edit with perfectly timed placement through your videos. This can take up to 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes. So after this, I will come back, of course. All right, and that indeed took like around 15 minutes to do. In the meantime, we had some breakfast, we had some lunch, and now we can press this button, Start AI Placement. Let's try it. By the way, these clips are all shot on a Sony A7CR. They're shot in S-Gamut Cine, so they are not color graded yet. So I'm very curious how he will handle that. if he will randomly place the B-roll clips, and how basically he will handle that. And if later in post, I probably need to color grade them again. Basically, ideally we want all the B-roll to disappear, and ideally we want all the A-roll to disappear, because the A-roll of me is just speaking into the camera, and we don't want to see any A-roll with this, but we can check if like that is possible. Adapts, it keeps moving with Vietnam, and I think that's, and this I am honestly not too impressed by, but that can also be because of story. Like, we're doing something super super serious, but behind the scenes it's actually pretty simple. A lot of, okay, walk again, turn a little, hold that, wait, the wind is perfect right now, and then you see us dodging. Becomes bigger, more modern, more international. The Aojiai still says this is Vietnam. So as you can see, it places the B-roll on top of that. It didn't do such a great job in my opinion. We had, for example, walking shots, and it could easily take some different shots. So let's see how we can export that and how it behaves. What if we want to take this A-roll, this compilation that we agreed on and we checked off on. Let's see what happens when we export this into a project and how we can actually import it into DaVinci itself. Export, and we will go to DaVinci Resolve. All right, go to menu, workspaces, script, HeyEddie AI. So let's try that. HeyEddie says workspaces, scripts, HeyEddie AI. Workspaces, scripts, HeyEddie AI. We've got two main timelines here. So let's see what happens. Okay. So this is HeyEddie actually opening this rough cut. It seems to be some kind of script. This is the A-roll. This is the B-roll. It's implemented already. These are the subtitles, so that's quite nice. It still says this modern, more international. The Aojiai still says this is Vietnam. Okay, let's see how that works. It definitely requires some tweaking, and not everything works really well. It definitely needs some diving into and getting to know the software, but I'm definitely certain we can make it work. Or do we need to enable the script? I think that's fairly important. Rough cut. Okay, so we have the rough cut here. We just don't have the A-roll yet, B-roll sequence. So, and this is the timeline with the cut already made. Which is pretty nice. I also believe it added some SRT files already. Also kind of a living tradition. It changes. But yeah. All right, so I wasn't exactly happy with the way the first story turned out, so I made like a decision to have a second render. And I got through ChatGPT and write down a really detailed prompt basically for HeyEddie AI, and I got a completely different outcome. So this is what happens when you implement like a more detailed prompt. HeyEddie AI immediately goes to work for you. What happened here is it's got like a real indication of the story you wanted to have. By exporting this, it's got this A-roll footage, this story, and by exporting it actually turned it into this detailed version of where all the B-roll types have been organized: wide shots, close-ups, the pink Aoyai photo shoots. So, and if you go there, you have automatically all the shots with pink Aoyai in it. And I can definitely see how this will work when you have like hours of footage, hours of B-roll footage that you just need to organize and put into folders, for example. And also by making like a rough cut from your A-roll footage, what if you have like 1 hour of interview footage and all kind of different topics come up? Then it's super easy to cut this up into a congruent narrative that actually makes sense. We had a timeline with the story caught up as how HeyEddie would wanted to prompt it, did that whole process. The second timeline, we've got all the B-roll footage. We got it organized. So general people, all the shots with a photographer in it. Well, there's definitely more. And it organized all that footage, everything with the Hun market. So we've got that section nailed down. So it's actually like makes sense if you listen to a HeyEddie here, what he's got to say. Congrats, you just saved half an hour and $25, if that's your wage, right? I hope you're liberated to make more and better videos. So I definitely see how this can actually help you. All right, so there you have it. I hope this gave some insight in how HeyEddie .ai works actually, and how you can prompt it to make it work for you. So after tinkering around with it, like there's also downsides. I definitely see a clear downside. It's not a one-click solution like other AI editors are editing software is offering. Like Opus Clip, you just insert your footage, it breaks down the narrative, and with one click you get a viral scores. That is this not at all. This it's not a one-click final edit replacement tool. Like it cuts up the A-roll, it creates a narrative, but definitely the color grading, like handling your footage and placing the correct B-roll footage on top of your A-roll, you still got to do yourself. So that's one downside. On the upside though, I see how much time this can save you. If you are weekly working on bigger projects and you need to like have that first final rough cut ready, it's worth a lot of value to have that final cut ready within half a day and go over the details. So I definitely can see how this can deliver a lot of value, and how you can sell that as a premium using this AI software. My main conclusion is that if you are like a solo creator, this might not be for you just yet. If you are just walking around and making short form content, this will not benefit you in terms of saving you time and saving you money. If you are a mid to higher end producer and video editor that's working on bigger projects, working on documentaries in which you on a weekly basis have to process like hours and tons of footage, I see this software can definitely benefit you and make it worth your time and your money. It can cut the main narrative down so fast with the AI algorithms that are working for you, and just indexing all the B-roll footage and being able to place that on top of your A-roll that we see before can be pretty powerful. One downside is that you probably have to dive into it and you have to use it on a daily basis to get into it and get it working for you, get accustomed to it, to make sure that you know the ins and outs, how it's actually working. And another way to think about this is like that first price point. Pricing plan is very interesting. I ran it through ChatGPT and it came down to that if you use the free plan and you're doing multiple exports a month, I think one is included every month. We started out with 3 free credits, so that's a credit per export. But if you do more, like ChatGPT estimated that you pay around between $10 to $20 per export, which is still a very cheap price. So anyway, I hope this gave you some insight. Check HeyEddie out through the link below. And I'd love to hear from you. Maybe I missed something. I can see how with this simple project, you're not getting the most out of it, as I can see that with a better narrative, like a bigger project and more videos to work with, you can definitely benefit more. All right, on to the next one. Let's go.